Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Dan. This is TweetFPV. Thank you for coming here this morning. Super excited to be here. And thank you to all the people that have showed up way ahead of time. Rick Zapata, as always, in the comments. Got up really early and did some early morning flying and practice. Good for you, man. I have to set an alarm to wake up to do this on Sunday mornings. Mojo OG, same time zone, 10 o'clock. That's when I go live, 10 o'clock Central Time. It's at 11 Eastern, 9 something more westish, whatever. Morton Upshot. Morton has discovered the secret link in the video description. Today we'll be doing a pretty cool giveaway. Something a little bit different than what we usually do here. There we go. Get some tunes going. Athex, how you doing this morning, my friend? And Dial Up, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being out here. Learning the OSI stack. I don't know what that means. Oh, as always, coffee from my friends over at Ruby Moon Coffee. Excellent, excellent local roaster. And with me, I have my trusty. Well, all right. I got one of them. I got Mary. She's here. She's just hanging out because she's got nothing better to do. She's a dog. Try to turn this a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Told me my SPI had almost as poor range as D8 for a while. Why on earth would that be? There's no reason for that unless you've got something really, really whacked up. Speedy Turtle, how are you doing this morning? Hopefully you have some time to stick around. Speedy Turtle, one of the good guys in FPV. He has the Speedy Cares package. It's the give a penny, take a penny, but for FPV parts. If you're interested in that, find Speedy Turtle over on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, we have a new patron this month, or this week or whatever, between live streams. Keith Drones, welcome to the Cool Kid Club. You'll be up there with the likes of Brody Bell, Brian, and Bardwell, Ciati, and a ton of other awesome people. Athex says the OSI stack is the model that computers use to communicate and networks with each other. Gross. Well, good luck with that. I know just enough networking to get away with the stuff I do at home. Speedy, building and flying today. I should be doing some flying today. I haven't done a lot of flying this week. It's been a beautiful week, just haven't had a whole lot of time for it. Got out there, threw in one pack, knocked out my iGov video in one pack, and called it a day. I got a couple packs in on the AOS 5 build. That's this guy here. Tuning's going pretty good. It's tuning up to be pretty nice. A lot better when you start tuning it than it is on stock Betaflight tunes. So, so far so good. Really liking that one, and that might be one of you guys' squads here in a couple months. Sorry about that. DIY FPV afternoon. Good morning. How are you? All right, so some of the things we got going on this week. iGov competition is on week 12. This last week was inverted yaw spins or trippy spins or however you want to call it. Every light pole manufacturer in the world got someone flying a quad around it. That's 99% of the people flying around a light pole because, well, they're everywhere. Courage JW, welcome. How are you doing this morning? Putting the Happy Model Mobula 6 ELRS whoop through its paces. Still pretty solid. Haven't had any issues with it yet. Still haven't broken the frame, and I've put this thing in a wall full tilt several times, literally trying to break the frame. And I know there's a bunch of people out there that'll break it by looking at it wrong. I do like it. It needs to be lighter and have tri-blades. I don't like the sloppiness of the bi-blades, so tries for this. And I got to get that PH 2.0 connector out of there sometime soon. Put a review video out this week on that. Pretty interesting little quad. really liking it with ELRS. I would say, and myself and Brandon Baked Beans, we had a little bit of conversation about this. If you had one of these quads that had SPI receiver on it and you had a multi-protocol module, just go with Redpine. I wouldn't bother switching over to ELRS on it because range isn't really going to be your concern. It's link latency. And Redpine's pretty quick, but if you had the opportunity to, I mean, if you're in the market for a quad, might as well get one with ELRS 2.4 on it because and it's not for the range, it's for the low latency RC link. There we go. Put the chat right in the middle so I can see it. I'm trying to add FPV to my gas buggy. Do you know how to stop vibrations in my video? Well, it depends on how you're mounting it. A nice 3D printed mount would help, but I'm assuming the gas shocks or the shocks are probably far too stiff to really smooth out the ride. There's a program called GyroFlow. It'll require you to solder on a flight controller and one that has black box logging and an SD card, and you can actually sync the gyro data from the flight controller to the video and stabilize it. It is a major pain in the, but it's doable if that's it. But that's only in post. You can't do it real time. Other than putting some sort of really spongy shock mount on there, like maybe like a TPU mount with like thin threads, kind of like maybe like a mount like that where it's not being held up by a lot, allowing the camera to absorb, or the mount absorb the vibrations a little bit. Maybe that'd be a way. Other than that, I don't know. Told me post a pic in Discord. See what's the problem. All right, let's go over to Discord. Let's go to come on, Discord. Open you. There we are. Where we at? Live stream chat. Display 1. Hey, here we go. All right, let's see. With my VTX at 25 milliwatts, I noticed I started to have micro failsafes and failsafe in the woods at 100 meters away. I would say it might be on your transmitter side. Take your module apart, make sure your antenna didn't come disconnected. And make sure you actually have the right antenna. Most of these ELRS modules come with a... where's the chat at? Here we are. Hello, chat. Where'd you go? Oh. Weird. Most of them come with a RP SMA connector, which looks like... Maybe I need to move that light. I think that looks... Nah, maybe not. Anyway, so they all come with a... some come with a RP SMA, some come with a SMA, depending on who and where you get them from. So you have that little pin sticking out. If this is a SMA and you get a RP SMA antenna, they will screw together, but that center pin won't ever touch. That would be one thing to look for. The other thing is get your module open and make sure the antenna, it's typically a UFL, make sure it's still connected. And then the other stuff is the basics, like what's your power output, how many hertz. If you're at like 500 hertz, go down to like 250. 500 really reduces your range. Just some thoughts. Yeah. Windjumby FPV. Yeah, the DJI Session thing. That's on the list of things to talk about today. Looks a little something like this. Yeah, look at that. This is leaked images from Jasper Ellens 27. I don't know. There's like professional leakers. That'd be a weird job to have. But it is a DJI Session style camera. But it's also kind of like the the Insta360 cameras where it has modules attached to it, but that's the actual camera itself. And I'm guessing that it probably can operate without the lower part. The lower part's probably a screen, if I had to guess. Here are the specs. 56 grams. What's a session weigh? So session 72 grams. This thing is significantly lighter. It's not as light as a naked GoPro, but still pretty darn light. Sensor size is a 1 1/7 inch sensor. The Session was a 1 let's see, what was it? It was a 1 2/3. So I've kind of brought this up before the stream just to kind of give an example. So 1 2/3 sensor size. So you got a full frame, 36 by 24 millimeter. 1 2/3 is this little guy here. 1 1/7. Is that what it was? 1 1/7. So it's bigger, not by a lot. And you know, that GoPro sensor it's honestly a pretty tiny sensor, and what GoPro has been able to do with it is frankly amazing. So the question is this going to be any good for FPV if this thing comes out? And the answer is I don't know. It's hard to tell because there's been a lot of action, like wannabe GoPro Session action cams that have come out, like the Runcam Orange, the Caddx Dolphin or Orca, though the Orca was one of them was really bad, the other one wasn't quite as bad. But there's been a lot of Session-esque cameras out there that just never live up to the gold standard. Every time I see one of these dead on Facebook or Instagram, it's like killing a unicorn. I don't know. It'll be hard to say. I think if it's carried by Best Buy and we can abuse the black tie warranty, this is for all my American folks. I think that'll be a big seller. But they're talking 4K 60 in 4.3 mode. It probably won't work with Real Steady, but they do have their own really good image stabilization. DJI definitely can make a very, very good camera. We all know that. But I don't know. It's hard to say. It'll be hard to say what you'll get out of it. Some more specs. Definitely looks like it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on it. 2.4, 5.8 gigahertz. 1S LiPo, like most consumer electronics. The external screen's 64 grams. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see what comes of this. And then on that, we also have the Caddx Peanut that came out this week, which is basically Insta360 Go, just in my opinion, more limiting. Sorry, Insta360 Go 2, but more limiting. Let's see. DIY FPV would be better to put a set of 0802 2200 kV motors on it. 0802 is going to be better. It's going to be shorter run times. Like, comparing these two to each other, this one's got the 0702s, this has got the 0802s, but these are the 25,000 kV motors, which in my opinion, that's the way to go. This thing, I like the way this thing flies more. But I think if you're able to squeeze some weight out of it, the 0702s will be all right. But 0802s will definitely be, I think, better, but you're going to lose a lot of flight time on it. But yeah. Tomy, upper pick. Let's see. What you talking about? Apparently Discord has shut down on me. Awesome. Thank you, Discord. Rob Logan, welcome to the live stream, my friend. How are you doing this morning? A little late, yeah. Where the heck have you been, man? Usually you're here 15 minutes early at least. Just messing with you, Rob. Welcome. Why don't they just call it an XX SMA or XY SMA? I always forget which has the wire poking out. Okay, here's how I remember. And we're going to refer to the male connector every time. So, male connector, because, you know, reasons why it's male. RP has a pin sticking out. Or if you want to think about the female side, RP is recessed pin antenna. That's how I think of it. I'm sure that's not what it means, but I think of the antenna as an RPSMA antenna because that's usually what you're shopping for is an antenna. Do I have a recessed pin or do I have an extended pin? So RPSMA. That's RPSMA. I don't know if that'll help anybody, but that's kind of how I remember it. Most 2.4 gigahertz transmitters are RPSMA, but that's not all of them, but a lot of them are. Let's see. Current JW, what'd you end up doing? Dial up 1 2/3 thing. Yep. The 1 1/7 is a nice sizable upgrade. It is. There have been other action cams that have come out with bigger sensors than the GoPro, but they still look like crap compared to the GoPro. GoPro has a patent on that super view, which is what everybody wants. It gives you that fake illusion of speed. Like if you ever see like these drone videos and they put it on linear, it is not impressive at all. You're like, oh, they're not actually moving all that fast. Once you take the fisheye effect out of it, it's not as attractive, if you ask me. I'm on the camera inside the cover poking out of the windshield. Actually, I've added a FPV camera to a RC car before. Hang on. So this was this is my daughter's little RC buggy thing, and I just mounted one of those craptastic AIO camera VTXs right in there. Just 3M VHB'd it to the hood, and this thing actually works pretty good. This thing freaking hauls butt. And then if you have a house that's like all hard floors, this little thing is a absolute riot. If you've never actually tried the little Emax car, this thing's a ton of fun. Real hard tires, so it likes to slide really easy. Current JW, Caddx Peanut looks interesting. Yeah, it does look interesting. It is essentially, I'm looking around to see if I can figure out what I did with my Insta360 Go 2. It's the internals and the specs are exactly the same as Insta360 Go 2. I personally don't think the Caddx Peanut is worth getting. They say it has added protection, but that's only when you put it inside the mount that comes with it. And let's face it, well, you're probably going to break the mount anyways. It still has replaceable ND filters or camera, or the way I look at it, lens protection. It does have a magnetic bit that attaches to the back, so you can charge it from the quad, and you can actually start and stop recording if that's something you're interested in. Recording time's still the same. The battery life still, well, the battery life isn't this. The battery life's the same, except for you can power the Peanut constantly off of a 5-volt Beck. But none of the Insta360 Go 2 accessories will work with the Caddx Peanut. None of the mounts, none of the holders. The controller will work, but you can't put the camera inside the controller like you can on the Insta360 Go 2. And the killer for me is the Peanut has no water protection to it, where the Insta360 Go 2 does. So, I don't know. I don't know if the Peanut's going to be if you had to ask me, I'd say get the Insta360 Go 2. And if you're interested in a 360 Go 2, got an affiliate link. Click tweetfb.com. You could find it there. Shameless plug. Yeah, Athix, that's the whole point of it. Yeah. Yeah, RPSMA was supposed to be so you couldn't mess with it. Because, like, anything that's, what, is it part 15 or part 51 certified? I can't remember. It's one or the other. As soon as you change an antenna on it or alter it anyway, the FCC certification is out the window on it. So that was the idea, is on routers to put an RPSMA antenna so people couldn't change the antennas, but the world makes a bigger idiot or smarter idiot, and now we just sell RPSMA antennas. Tommy, I got the ELRS Mobula to 16.5. I need some of those plastic screws to get to 16.0. Oh yeah, those things. Yeah, you can get these things down real light. Mr. Shutterbug's got a mob light that I think he has like down to like 12 grams or some insane weight. Brandon Baked Beans, Triple B, welcome to the live stream. How you doing this morning, my friend? I know you had some family around. Hopefully you got a chance to get on and do some actual flying. I'm really starting to realize how little I do fly. Hey, Brandon, no worries. Brandon Baked Beans has kind of been helping me tune this AOS 5. I can tune, I'm just terrible at it, and it's nice to have someone to hold your hand in the process. And he's really good at methodically explaining the rationale behind the changes, which I know the entire tuning process will be out the window as soon as Betaflight 4.3 comes out, because there's a whole lot of more adjustments. So we'll see how that goes. Kearns JW, it gets my heart racing, beating so low to the ground in an RC car on FPV going 75 miles an hour. Yeah. Peanut. Yeah, peanut. Yeah. If you're allergic to peanuts, you can't have it. Your mom will let you watch YouTube. The peanut is supposed to be a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure how much. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Insta360 Go 2 with the controller case and all the accessories. 300. Caddx Peanut with just the like the connector for the back of it is $239 through the usual scumbags. That's called Banggood. So I don't have a warning. Shut up. So yeah, the Peanut is cheaper. If you're outside of the U.S., I mean, if you're in the U.S., you can get the Insta360 Go 2 from Best Buy and abuse the living, you know what, out of the black tie protection. If you're outside of the U.S., Insta360 Go does, or Insta360 does offer an extended warranty, which I've used before, and it's pretty good. I don't know if there will be camera protection on the Caddx Peanut, but you can buy square trade protection on just about anything. You could put it on your new camera, your new quad. You could put it on, things. So maybe that's another option. Let's see. No water protection does suck. It does suck, but I don't know how susceptible to water it'll be. Like, if you land in wet grasses, are gonna die. But like, I use my Insta360 Go 2 for probably more things non-FPV related than I do FPV related stuff. And the fact of the matter comes down, it's going to be, you're going to use the camera that you have on you. That was the whole, I mean, that's why more people take pictures with this thing than an actual camera, because you always have this with you. And that's why there's so much development and money that goes into producing high quality cameras, and the interface and the post-processing in your cell phone camera than there is in a lot of other things, because you got this with you, So if the camera's easy to use and you have it, you'll probably use it. hopefully. That's the thing with the Insta360 Go too, is it's just a little pill. Throw it in my pocket and I go. And then if I want to take a video of like my daughter running around or whatever, you just pull it out, push the button, point and click, close it up, and then you can fix it all in post. It takes a semi-spherical 180-degree image. You can reframe and kind of fix things in post, which is nice. I'm actually considering one of the Insta360 Go or one of the Insta360 X1-2s or X2, whatever it is, because that's a true 360 camera. And literally, you pull it out and you just stick it out there, do whatever you're doing, and then you fix it in post. Like, you don't even have to point it in the general direction of what you're trying to capture. It takes that spherical 360 image, and you can do just about anything with it. I love the idea of 360 cameras. Yeah, you probably could cover it. They do get really hot. Dial up 15 grams, I think, yeah. Oh my, I'm still learning 4.3. Yeah, 4.3, there is a lot of new adjustments in there. I really like the configurator for 4.3. What is it, Betaflight 10 point something. 10.8.0 is the new configurator, which if you have one of these Happy Model ELRS boards, you have to have the new configurator because these are all on pre-release Betaflight 4.3 firmware. Just a warning or a precautionary tale there. Betaflight 4.3, some of the things that I've seen that I really like is in the GUI you have receiver binding, so you don't have to go into the SPI or the CLI. Motor remapping and a direction wizard in there, so you don't have to get into BL Heli Suite or BL Heli 32 or any of that stuff. You can do it all through the Betaflight GUI, which pretty much everybody's been doing. Like Flight 1 has been doing that for a long time, where you can just, it's all done through the GUI. You don't have to go into the separate ESC configurator. M2K, how you doing today, my friend? Welcome to the live stream. Speed Turtle, I'm back. Neighbor called and said I had some cows out. Gotta go put them back. Yeah, isn't that fun when your animals get out? Ugh. I had when I lived in northern Michigan, I had a Vietnamese potbelly pig. Super sweet. Her name was Bubba. She was actually housebroken. Really liked that pig. She was just the sweetest thing. But you know, she would venture down the road. And she'd get into the neighbor's apple field. I mean, she just, like, you know, had apple trees. And she would eat the apples that were on the ground, and the neighbor just got completely rip shit about it. And would, she called the cops on us, which was weird because the cops showed up. They're like, yeah, it's not a dog, so I can't do anything. Yeah, there's Bubba and my daughter. She's actually housebroken, too. Yeah. She was a little overweight, but yeah, she was super smart, and she would we put her on invisible fence and actually kept her in the yard that way. Super smart pig. Peanut's cheaper because you're not getting the charging base with the screen on it. The screen on the charging base is just an OLED readout. It's nothing special. Cotton FPV, hope you're having a great day too. Hopefully everybody here is going to get a chance to get out and go fly. Anyone like My Little Pony? There's a new movie on Netflix today. I saw that. I downloaded a plugin for Chrome called Screener, and I watched the new Mulan with my daughter. They're up in Chicago. I'm still down here in the dirty South. Watched that online with them. She fell asleep after about 20 minutes. The movie kind of sucks, I'll be quite honest with you. The original was better. You know, every time, yeah, Rob Logan, I know that needs to be adjusted. I swear, every time I come into OBS, it changes. It changes that. I don't understand why it always screws with the dimensions on it. Let's see if I can. There. Does that look a little better to you? And I guarantee it'll change the next time I come into OBS. Although I don't think I've changed it since the new version of OBS came out, so maybe that's something they fixed in one of the bugs. But yeah, thanks for the heads up there. It'll probably be screwed up on a lot of the other scenes. Brandon Baked Beans, are you a brony? Ooh, hard-hitting questions this morning. My dial-up. I had the Insta360 One X, awesome camera. Yeah, I wanted the One X, then the One X2 came out, and it was just like a very little bit of improvement. Basically, the screen. I don't have either one, so I was kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for the One X3 to come out. It's been long enough. We'll see. It's a crime they call it 360 because Insta360 is the name of the company. That's why, Morton. Yep, confirmed. Don't dress up though. The 1R. I've seen a lot of good reviews on the 1R. Yeah, sliders in Betaflight 4.3 puts the PID tuning sliders in the OSD, which is awesome. Unless you're on DJI, then you just don't have any of that stuff. But if you're on White Shark, did I get it right? Did I get it right the first time? I think so. I think you'll get the sliders because it uses canvas mode. It basically reduplicates the entire OSD, which is nice. The invisible 360 drone, that's been done before. Newbie drone is not the first. I think Stan FPV came out with the original invisible drone. That's really cool. Very much need a very specific use case for it, but that's really cool. But your camera is basically permanently locked in that frame unless you want to disassemble it every time, which kind of is what you have. You know, it is what you have to do. Very specific parts you need for it. Yeah, Brandon Baked Beans, that is what he was flying. Yeah, price does not include the camera. Brandon Baked Beans, weather is good today. I'm gonna take my kids, mom to the park, try to get some cinematic fight footage, show my mom later. Yep, no flippy floppies. Or save one for the end. Or no, do it right in the beginning. And then, that's it. I see what I missed in combination with the 360 Go 1R camera, yeah. Screener, yeah, that's what it is. Screener. What'd I say? I don't remember. But yeah, I tried that last night. That was pretty cool. I like that. It's hard to do if you don't have headphones, if you want to use a microphone, because all I heard what they were watching, it had like a 3-second delay, so I had to mute their microphone every time, but whatever. Who flies DJI? I fly DJI. I also fly Betaflight. Or not Betaflight, but standard analog. Yeah. M2K asks, what you think is the most motor I can get away with on a 3-inch Caddx Nebula Pro sub 250 build limited by a 20 amp IO? 2004, I think you could definitely do. On 4S, I'm assuming if you're trying to stay below 250. 2004s would be okay. You'd have to be really careful about the rest of the parts you put on there, but that would be the most motor you could get. 14. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Motors. All motors. Looking for. $1408, $1407, I think would be a decent size. But yeah, I think a 2004, the 2004s are really, really good right now. I'm very happy with the T-Motor F2004 motors. These have been working extremely well. There you go. There's a link. Very happy with those motors. They're not the lightest. I think the lightest ones are probably the Aerolights by Umagod, but the lighter they are, the more fragile they are. So I think this is a good mix, in my opinion. Brandon McBean's just got the Tiny Hawk 2 HD. Need to bench test it. Hey, Brandon, what camera is in that? Is that the Polar, or is it the something else? Tell me. Just trolling. Yeah, 5 analog claws with flying analog micros. The camera and antennas work well. The Retels with eSheen nano. So this is the first quad I've put a Caddx baby Retel in, and so far so good. I'm fairly pleased with it. It is in PAL, which I need to change over to NTSC. Camera control is not working on it as usual. I don't know. I'm like 50% for camera control, hooking up to the flight controllers. Yeah, the Ronin. If you want to go with a 15 something, a 15XX, you'll have a lot of weight left over. 2004, I think would be. I think a 2004 is a better motor for most situations. If you want to build something that is just fast, like you're trying to build something to race. Sorry, I got like an eyelash in my periphery. If you want to build something that's like stupid fast, 1508 motors, but they're going to be notchy, and if you're going to try doing any sort of like, I don't know, if you're going to put like an HD camera board on there, you're going to see it. The 2004s are typically very smooth motors. It puts the bulk of the power curve down a little bit lower, at least in my opinion. Yeah. Caddx Polar. Yeah. I mean, it sucks that we don't have any of the good cameras out yet. I know Caddx just released a air unit that has a 120 frame per second camera, but they haven't released just the camera, so we can pair it with our Vistas. So we've got good camera, big old HD recording air unit. We need this camera with the Vista. And then we can kind of get close to the Nebula Pros of old. Basically, if you're shopping for a camera, unless you just don't have a choice, try to find something that does 120 frames per second. That's kind of how I look at which camera DJI, because there's so many options and they're so hard to. The naming scheme for all the DJI stuff just plain sucks. It is not very good. Tommy, time to visit the relatives. Have a good day. See you later, man. Have a good one, and get out and go fly. See you next weekend. Or, well, I'm sure I'll see you on Discord. The Ronin says, I'd agree. I don't know who you're agreeing with. Probably me, I hope. Brandon Bacon's fully okay with flying in high-quality mode. I really don't need low latency. Yeah. If you're not looking to do, like, close proximity or, like, racing or things like that, the 60 frames per second high quality mode is just fine. I have one race build. I have one race build, this big old fat bastard, with I don't know, it's got like, it was when they were doing the original DJI cams with the Vista. This is like the DJI Vista, I guess. I don't know. The naming scheme sucks. And I tried flying it on high quality mode through a race course, and it didn't go well. The latency was just way too high. But I think I was actually a little bit faster on that than I was on analog, just because I can see things clear. I gotta face it, I'm getting older, so it's harder for me to focus on things that are kind of blurry and off in the distance. Although nobody else could fly while I was flying that thing. It just bled all over the place, so I don't know. Let's see. You think Nebula Pro is coming back ever? Probably not. My guess is they're going to move on to the next camera, which will be this guy here. So this has, nope, dang it, wrong one. This one, here we go. This guy here, which has the 120 frames per second camera. I don't know exactly what the quality is like. I haven't really seen too many reviews, but it is a 120 frames per second, 120 frames per second camera. So we get the low latency. Unfortunately, we have to haul around, you know, all the junk in the trunk of this big sucker, which, you know, I've got 2 air units and I can't use a single one of them. I still have the stupid slow SD card error with the last update. I'm really hoping they fix this because this is kind of BS. But my guess is eventually they'll start selling just this camera alone. And then we could put that on the Caddx Vista. I just wish they would sell the Vista with this camera. The Vista is the VTX. Air unit is this VTX. This is the... I don't know what they're calling this camera. Yeah, I don't know. But like, this is the Caddx Polar. Still got the big old honking air unit, but this thing is only 60 frames per second. So, yeah, I hate their naming scheme. But I don't see the Caddx Nebula coming back. I see different cameras coming out. Probably that one alone, and then probably eventually with a Vista. So I think the manufacturers are trying to sell all the air units they can, and then they'll probably pair it with a Vista, and then they'll probably sell the camera alone. And then you just gotta, I mean, because what are you gonna break? You're gonna break the air unit, you get, or the Vista, or you're gonna break the camera? You're gonna break the camera. So we need cameras. So I don't know. We'll see. I was digging around the back of my my workshop, and I found a brand new Nebula Pro, still sealed up. Super happy about that. Oh, got a tickle in my throat. Can't get rid of. Let's see. Completely unrelated. All right, let's see what this is. Why not? That's pretty funny. Here we go. I'm probably gonna get a flag for that now. Oh, let's see. Back to the chat. Most potential plan framing the action camera. Yeah, and then I think Betaflight 4.3 has an actual like framing option in the OSD where you can draw a box where your HD camera is going to point, which I think would be useful in a couple limited cases. Let's see. Big fins on top of the race cuts. What are they for? Oh, they're for turtle mode. So you crash upside down in the grass. Since these are all bottom mount batteries, instead of being flat and planted in the grass, it will get one or two of the props up off the ground so you can turtle mode over. Had a good discussion about turtle mode over, well, not really a discussion, just my opinion about turtle mode over on Rick Zepeda's Discord. Turtle mode everything. I have not killed an ESC yet, knock on wood, and I have abused the living you-know-what out of turtle mode, and I mean, I have yet to kill an ESC for that. I mean, there's still people out there that are saying 30 by 30 on everything because 20 by 20 is unreliable. That's just old school mentality. Things have gotten so much better. There's pretty good current protection in these things. I'll be honest, like, if that quad is buried in the grass, it's just not going to spin the props. And I mean, I've tried to turtle mode out of just about everything. I've turtle moded this thing out of a tree up until the point where I don't have any props left and it finally fell out. Because I'm not going to go get a ladder. But with that said, you know, use common sense. Silicon shortage is getting out of hand. The cell phone PC auto manufacturers are getting fights over supply. Yeah, our hobby will not, my prediction is our hobby will not develop or advance nearly like what it was doing before the year 2000. Because like between like, or 2020, between like 2018 and 2020, the development in this hobby was huge. It was like everything was upgraded exponentially, like monthly, like per season, basically by like quarter. We're not going to see that in this hobby probably for the next 3 years because all that chip allocation from all these manufacturers are going to go to the people who have high yield or high quantity and deep pockets, and this hobby is not either one of those things. Just my thoughts on it. There will be products, there will be development. It's just not going to be like it has been. Like the people that have gotten into this hobby back in like 2018, prepare for a slowdown. Like those were the salad days. Lots of pilots, stuff was very cheap, it was reliable, it was super available. We're going back to pre-2018 where only thing you can get is stuff direct through Banggood or China retailers. Not a lot of stuff in well, back then there weren't a whole lot of availability for US retailers. There is now, so we'll still have options there, but it's going to be available first over on either the manufacturer's website or like places like Banggood, because let's face it, they live next door to each other. Just my opinion, though. My neighbor mostly quit FPV. I think he has 1 or 2 air units he's not using. Should drop him an offer on one of them. Yeah, you should. They call it the Caddx Micro. Okay, Caddx Micro. Caddx Micro. Okay. I need to have like a whiteboard of what all this. Yeah. Ooh, there's a video idea. Trying to get my neighbor out actually. Don't want to buy him out of FPV. I need to get him flying. Yeah, I'm more into the let's try to get somebody back in the air than to buy them out. Had a friend, got into the hobby. He said, hey man, I'm going to get into this hobby and I'm going to drop out in 3 years. I guarantee it, because that's how he does all his hobbies. He got into it, hot and heavy, spent a ton of money, and then just one day he's like, I'm out. You want to buy all my stuff? Made me a deal I could not refuse. Yeah, Mark 2K, it would be a good time for DiviMath HD0, basically the bite fart stuff to come in, but they're going to have the same issues. They're going to have A, capital, and B, supply issues. It's going to be the same thing with them too. And trust me, DJI has deeper pockets and higher demand than DiviMath HD0 Fat Shark ever will. They just do. Dial up. He sells used. He works at a dealership. Has 9 new cars left in stock, 4 used, and we have 4 in the morning coming in. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, like flying over all these dealerships, like they look like they have a lot of cars, but they put what they have on the very front, and the rest of the parking lot is completely vacant. It's nuts. Dealerships are folding up left and right. Yep, turtle mode fins. That's what they are. CMYK FPV, how you doing this morning, my friend? Good to see you here. Speedy Turtle, we can't hear it. I didn't hear it. Don't think he played over stream. Huh. Well, I mean, he put the link in there. If you guys want to listen to it, you can. Does it have that music? I must not have the browser mixed in with that OBS scene. It's difficult once you put a Go XLR in the mix. There's a lot going on. No, that's you can set the frame for the DJI or the Betaflight OSD, not the DJI, unfortunately. I need an FPV slowdown. The last couple of years have salted my savings. Yeah, the last couple of years have just been a freaking arms race, you know? There was so much new stuff coming out so fast. Yeah, which sucks because you got a lot of people that just got their toes into the hobby. Ultra cheap with really good stuff, and now it's like locked up. Everything's more expensive. There's nothing available. And, you know, people are just leaving it. And then coupled along with all the FAA bullshit happened last year with the NPRM and all the stuff's going on, I can see why someone would get out of this hobby. There's a lot going against you. You have to really have expendable time and income to really do much with this hobby. And that's obviously a broad statement, but it's an expensive hobby. More expensive now. Banggood has the Ishii Nano VTX in stock. In a warehouse, order Thursday. Yep. People really bag on Banggood, but I've had no issues. And well, I've had issues, but they always resolve it. You know, just prepare for the emails that take 24 hours for a turnaround because they're on the other side of the freaking world. A Vespula FPV. How you doing this morning? T-Bird, what's up? Headed home from Lake and got some great fly time this weekend. Awesome. Bite Fart is the most offensive nickname for that product. Hey, man, don't change your name 3 times. Or twice. Bite Fart. Yeah. All right, Brandon Baked Beans. We'll see you around, man. Thanks for stopping by. See you over on Discord. Sounds like your friend had ADHD. Yeah, he got big into like 3-gun competition, like, and he realized like to go to the next level, it will require an exorbitant and exponential amount of time and money. And he's just like, well, I'm done. Just walked out, went into FPV. Athix, message retracted. Awesome. Morton Upshot, just getting started. This is a rough time to get started, I'll be honest. The products are good, which you have that going for you. Like when I got in, products were unavailable, expensive, and they were absolute garbage. Like you look at an ESC wrong and you got a fire on your hands. Products are really good now. They're just expensive and hard to get a hold of. Harder than they were a couple years ago, put it that way. But, you know, if you're trying, not bad. Tyler has his Tyler has his golf course in South Carolina. Yeah, I heard that Tyler Brennan, the owner of RDQ, has bought a golf course and a doggy daycare too. But, you know. So far, the wife hasn't complained. Yeah, it'll happen sooner or later. So glad I won that whoop. Yeah. Get a whoop. You can fly anytime, anywhere. Career speaking, it's not the most expensive. Yeah, there are a lot more expensive hobbies. Like, take up going to the bar every weekend. Like, I don't do that, so then I can be like, hey, I don't go to the bar, go drinking. So I spend my money on quads. That only lasts so long. But, you know, way cheaper than shooting. Hell, it's cheaper than smoking. I need to get LQ in the OSD. How are you getting around this? DJI, there is a way to trick the DJI OSD into doing it. JB put out a really good video on that one. I would do it myself, but I can't make it any better than he did. So Bardwell does have one on how to get LQ into the OSD. All right. Coming up on an hour here. We've talked about a whole lot of stuff. Something to talk about that a few people have already found is the link to this week's live stream giveaway. No entry, no super chat required. If you want to donate, that'd be great. Help pay for dog treats for these two fine folks back here. The pit mix on the left, that's Mary. The feist on the right, that's Sweetie. Super good little companions, just kind of hanging out like they always do. So this week's giveaway is a 30-minute training / tuning / whatever session with Jim Fan's own sponsored pilot, Aaron Ciotti, Ciotti FPV. If you don't know who Aaron Ciotti is, I don't know where you've been. He typically live streams right after Bardwell. Big into micros, so if you have micros, you need tuning help, this is the man to talk to. He knows everything micro related. And he's over on Fiverr. He's been selling flight training sessions where basically I think you'll either send him videos of your flight, or you'll drop into like Velocidrone or whatever, one of the sims, and he can kind of coach you along. He has a background in auto racing, doing basically teaching for auto racing. So very knowledgeable guy, good instructor. So this week, hit that link in the video description and go ahead and sign up. I'll draw one lucky winner at the end of this thing, and you can get yourself some learning on. Oh, let's see. DJI needs to use canvas mode. They have, I think I remember hearing something about like the development forum for the DJI FPV system. There is a kind of canvas mode thing in the works where basically they're going to mimic the Betaflight OSD, shark fart, shark bite, whatever. They already do it, and once they do that, that'll probably relieve a lot of the BS on their end. All they have to do is just mimic the OSD that's coming over the MSP protocol and just put it on the screen. And you don't have to mess with, the limited OSD that DJI has. Because whenever Betaflight adds new elements or new things to the OSD, DJI can't do it. Like 4.3 with tuning sliders in the OSD, that is awesome. You want DJI? Ain't happening. Although you can do PID tuning through the DJI OSD, which is very pretty, but it's not as good, I don't think. Athex, my brother works for Tyler of Race Day Quads. He started working at a golf. Mentioned it, the owner of the company for drone racing. His name's Tyler. Yeah, that is awesome. That's small world, man. That's awesome. Fat thumb my chats. That's why I retracted. Yeah, dial up. That's a good question. Morton, do you have a quad? Expense-wise, they also have so many drones, no replacement parts. Others use rare parts you can't replace, and they have no idea what to buy, like JB talked about. Let's see, expense-wise, yeah. Or I have a home-built Recon 3 that's 85%, but I crapped the ESC already. That's a bummer. The Recon 3, that's the little guy, right? Yeah, that is not where I would start in the hobby with the Recon 3. That is a what I would call a specialized build. It's gonna be unreliable and difficult to live with. You got it. That's cool. Go for it. But like for a beginner quad or like your first quad, I would go with something way more robust than a Recon 3. But the Recon 3 is a pretty cool little setup. But it's not what I would do. I've been attaching a VTX to my camera, drone, and doing it that way. All right. Let's put up a new frame with better CG. Hope that will help out with the bad prop wash. If you're flying a Recon 3 and you're worried about prop wash, you're doing it wrong. You are flying the wrong quad. Sim time is awesome. I didn't have sims when I started. I have sims now. I still don't fly them. I can't stand the way sims fly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's where you started. That's fine. Yeah. I definitely recommend starting with something way more robust, like a 3-inch or even a toothpick is going to be way more beginner friendly than that Recon 3. Those things, you look at them wrong and you're going to break an arm. Even a toothpick, a frame like this is going to handle a lot more abuse. As long as you keep it light. All right, so we got 9 people entered in the giveaway. That is awesome. Trying to get into a little bit more long-range flying. Someone suggested that in the last live stream. I'm like, you know what, that's a good idea. Got a set of the iFlight. The iFlight. The patch antennas. What do they call these things? The crystal. That's right. Try to give me a little more straight line directional performance on the goggles. Get used quad on Facebook Marketplace. That is a excellent place to start because you can get some stuff dirt cheap. Or over on, if you're looking for parts, head over to FPV Exchange. It's a good place to find new and used parts. RDQ kind of disappointed me about the Skyzone 04L, and 5 days later they went on sale. They won't throw me a bone. Not even credit towards future orders. That kind of sucks, but I mean, you really want to stick it to them, you could return them and then buy them again. Just a thought. RDQ has a couple good sales going on right now. I think you can get a you can get a Baby Hawk 2 HD with a $100 in-store gift card, which is that's a pretty darn good deal. JFEV, how are you doing today? Glad to see you around. Hope you've had a good week, been able to get out, do some flying. JFEV always seems to have some pretty good flight edits over in the Discord. My monthly Patreon giveaway. We can talk about that too. Giving away a 1-hour block of tuning, training, whatever, mental health through Aaron Ciotti, and a box of micro quad parts. This is enough stuff to build an entire brushed newbie drone, something, another company. I hate their naming scheme for their quads, but everything in one box. It's a DIY. It's a do-it-yourself kit. A DIY yourself kit like that. Yeah, that ATM machine, right? That is still going. I have a whopping total of 0 entries on that. And if you want to get on that, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days including today before I close the entries. So sign up for Discord and get your entry in, because you have a 1 in 1 chance of winning at this point. So just saying. Let's just double check. All right, here's the entries I have as of right now. None. So pretty good chances that you might win if you enter. And I have a feeling people are adverse to taking advice from other people, because in general, I think people are, when nobody wants to ask for help. Whereas a little bit of flight training, I mean, he'll even help you with tuning, like an hour worth of tuning help. Like, holy, like that goes a long way. You don't have to take any flight advice from him. You can keep flying as crappy as you always have been and not learn anything new and stay in your little bubble. Or you could have somebody push you to help you learn, try new things. Or you just have them help you tune, which I think that's worth it itself. Apparently a lot of nano long-range prop wash problems are CG, putting most of the work on the front two motors. The frame is made by Aguila called Nano Long Range Evo. Let's see what that sucker looks like. So anyways, sign up for Patreon, become one of the cool kids up here, and enter yourself to win a drone and 60 minutes of flight training. Really, there are no rules with it. It's like whatever you want to do, and you know, the dude knows a lot. Long range Evo. Oh, and it's 3D printed? Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about prop wash. I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to put this down or anything, but it's 3D printed. It's going to flex like nobody's business. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun project, and if that's what you got to do to fly, go for it. But I would fly it for what it is, not for what you think it can possibly be. And I'm not trying to be, you know, about that. I'm just saying, like, in reality, a 3D printed drone is going to be very difficult to get rid of the prop wash without adding a ton of weight. Once you start at a bunch of weight, you're going to get more prop wash because now you're making the props do way more than they should be doing, and the motors and the flight and the powertrain, all that stuff. I mean, I have a 3D printed micro long range. Flies okay, but the lighter it is, the better it's going to fly. But if you tap anything with it, you've got a broken arm. CMYK, I fully entered that though. You did? How'd you do that? I don't see any CMYK, I have a 30-minute session going today, which is just kind of like a... I've been supporting Aaron Ciotti since, I think, like day one of his live streaming thing. He's given him grips to give away on his live stream. And this is his kind of like paying me back a little bit, is he gave me 30 minutes to give away this month, which I'm giving away today on this live stream. Next week will be a 60-minute block for patrons. So CMYK, if you've entered that, which I think you probably have already, the link for that one is in the video description. But the 30-minute, the 1 hour block and the micro quad, that's going to be the Patreon giveaway. If you entered, no, you didn't, because I have nobody in the video submissions box over on Discord. So CMYK, no, you didn't. Oh, where am I at? Let's see. The motor Speedy sent me were not that good. I think 3 of them were fried. That's weird. My Recon is 3D printed, so I can break the frame as much as I want. Yeah, until you rip the pads out of the ESC. Then you're kind of hooped. I don't know squat about tuning. Just got here. I have to watch later to see what you're talking about. Well, Carbon Glass Man, I am giving away a 30-minute session from Aaron Ciotti where he can help you do some micro tuning. But go ahead and sign up if you're interested. I told you that before I sent them. Okay. Newbie Drone is a nice small company. IMO. Too much focus on micro. Nonetheless, I find them good gems there. I think they focus just enough on micros, and I think they need to focus less on other stuff. They need to be a micro-only company. Which was probably bad for business pre-COVID because most people just flew micros in the wintertime. But now, with the way things are, I think micros are kind of ubiquitous year-round. Let's see. It's my first build. It's going cheap, exactly. Well, hey man, at least you're out flying. That's really what it matters. Ecos are pretty good motors. I'm not using Ecos anymore. Every quad I've built with the Eco 2s run far too hot, and have not been able to tune the heat out of them. So, so I'm stepping away from the Eco 2s. The price is right, but they just seem to be... Oh, did I screw this up? Yeah, you still got to enter a video. It's in there. This is just this is just one part of this month's giveaway. Be sure to get your video over to the 60-minute training pack from FPV, from CIFPV. I hope yeah. So you still have to submit a video. Can't take the easy way out. So it's a two-step process. You have to submit a video, and you have to enter the link at the bottom. Alrighty, Doc. This motor's only had 2 flights on it. Alright. I have plans laid out for 5 different machines, building up to make a 7-inch Chimera base machine. 7-inch is pretty cool. I had a 7-inch for long-range flying. This is before the whole 4-inch long-range thing started. It was kind of expensive, and where I live, there's just nothing worth long-range flying for. Mark 2K, what you flying for long-range? I'm seeing 5.5-inch props coming out, and I think that's new long-range build. Long-range, I'm doing the 4-inch long-range deal. You got kind of that combination between heft and power, or lightweight and efficiency. If you're flying someplace that's like super windy, you're going to want to go with a much larger prop, like a 7, 8, 10, something like that. But for just general cruising, 4-inch long range have been pretty darn nice. It's darts. How are you doing today, my friend? Get back to tuning my 7-inch. It's a pain in the ass. You think that's a pain in the ass? Try tuning 13-inch props. That is not fun. Cruising and long range cruising is my main thing. Bashing my quads hurts too much. Yeah. Start racing. You get, you learn to compartmentalize that. I love racing. I definitely race. I like racing more than I like doing flippy floppies. I don't know if it's just because there's like a tangible goal, an achievement at the end. Like, is your time faster? Yes or no? Yes, you're doing better. No, well, you're not doing as good. Try something different. I don't know. It's just the way my brain works. But if I want to go out and fly for myself and just relax, I really do like long range flying and flying micros. This whole iGow thing, I'll be honest, it is frustrating as heck, and I hate it. Like it induces anger in a way that it shouldn't, but it pushes my skill, because without that, I'll never get out of my comfort zone. If you're not okay with breaking your quad, you will never get out of your comfort zone, and you will never, I don't mean never, but most likely won't progress. You have to be okay with breaking stuff. If you're not breaking stuff, you're not pushing yourself. If you're not pushing yourself, you're not learning, and you're not getting better. This goes for just about any hobby. If you're not pushing it, you're not going to get any better. If you stay in this little safety bubble, which I have for a long time, you stay in this little bubble. Oh, I don't want to break any props. I don't want to break any arms. I don't want to break any components because I don't want to buy new stuff. Either A, I can't afford it, or B, I just don't want to. You'll never advance. Having the simulators now, that helps kind of push you in the right direction to where you can kind of get the movements down before you go out and fly, and then go break your stuff. But I think you really need to... you really do need to push yourself and go break some stuff. Let's see. Where are we at? My baby tooth is go-to. Yeah, my micros are my go-to for doing flippy floppies. This stuff, This is stressful, adrenaline pumping, insane fun. But if for like a little bit lower threat, toothpicks, 3-inch quads, micros are awesome. Micros are great because you can fly them, rain, shine, sun, no sun, inside, outside, anywhere. If you are flying FPV and you don't own a micro, you're doing it wrong. You have got to have a micro. It is probably the most useful thing in this hobby, and start flying in acro mode with the micros. It does translate a little bit to the bigger stuff. Who's excited for Halloween? I am going to go back to Chicago and visit the family. Let's see. A 2807 Eco 2s have been really good on a 7-inch build. Yeah, my last 3 sets of 2306 Eco 2s, they just ran hot all the time on 3 different builds. So I have switched over to the Newbie Drone Flows. These are the 2306.5 motors. These have been great. They're not as high value as the Eco 2s, but these seem to be a better mix of, I don't know, I wouldn't even say quality, but just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. They run a lot cooler on every build I put them on. It's possible sacrifice, but the DJI FPV is kind of my goal. It doesn't hold up to a crash. Just don't crash. You know, the DJI FPV drone, I got one from Toxic FPV. He sent me his drone, and I borrowed a set of goggles from another guy because all I have is the V1s. And I gotta say, that thing was a lot of fun. I was terrified to crash it the whole time because I know what'll happen, and it wasn't mine. But like flying long distance on the DJI FPV drone was like super low stress. You just go, and it hauls ass out to where you want to go. And if you run out of video, run out of range, run out of battery, it just goes, boop, I'm coming back. And it takes the idiot factor out of it. Whereas my FPV analog long-range drone, like, you have to be on it. Otherwise, you can get yourself into a situation where you don't have enough battery, or you don't know where you're at, or it just fail-safes and you're kind of hooped. But yeah, the DJI FPV drone was an enjoyable experience. Would I buy one? Probably not. If that controller worked with the air units, I would seriously recommend it and consider it, because then you're getting more than just the goggles. You're getting the goggles and a controller that can be used on any of the bind and fly Vistas or air units, and then you'd just be getting a drone kind of on the side. Family Guy, how's it going, man? Flying the updraft on a mountain 7-inch flies the wind the best. Yeah, for sure. If you're dealing with a lot of wind, or you need a heavy payload because you're hauling like a Hero, was it 10 now or 9 or I don't know, whatever the new one is, then you're gonna want big blades. This. I don't buy bind and fly to anything. I have been buying a lot more bind and flies lately. Mostly because it's basically the DJI stuff is the only bind and fly stuff that I've been buying, because it's a lot cheaper to get. Basically, you're buying the air unit and the camera, and you're getting a bunch of other stuff for free for the most part. I like whoop racing even more than 5-inch. Tracks are more fun. Also, We Bleed Velostrum pop-up race is tonight. Awesome. I do enjoy micro racing because you can sit there and have a brew or two and go fly, but you can't do that at the track. I swear I'd be a better 5-inch racer if I had a couple pops beforehand, kind of take the edge off. You know what I mean? Just saying. Speedy. Oh yeah. I want to throw my 3-inch off a bridge the other day. Well, eesh, why? What's going on with it, Jay? I do enjoy building. Don't have a ton of time for it. I spend most of my time building drones to give away, which seems kind of up. Broke the frame, motors are gone. Just want to throw off bridge. Buy, fill, repeat. Remember my video from last year? Oh yeah, I remember this. That's pretty cool. Can someone teach me how to fly FPV? Sorry, man, you're on your own. Or you can sign up for some flight training from CI FPV. I guess I should buy an extra frame, start breaking stuff. True words. I'm always held back. I'm serious, man. Like, I'm 3 years behind the game as far as my development. Also, I don't stick with any piece of gear like radios. Buy a radio, learn to love it, and don't buy a new one. Don't fly a new radio every 6 months. So it seems, you know. Don't buy new goggles as soon as new ones come out. Try to stick with some of the key items, the radio, the goggles. Stick with that stuff as long as you can. Learn it so it's like the back of your hand. Like, you don't have to think when you're holding it, when you can't see it. But gotta push yourself. The first 3 years of me flying FPV was, I didn't know anybody else that flew FPV. I did it for fun. And every time I do something that would, I mean, I was flying garbage drones. Like, parts were garbage when I started. Like I said before, expensive and broke very easily. Nowadays, I mean, you should see some of the crashes my race drones take, and nothing happens to them. Even the props now. God, the props. The old glass fiber props when we had, you clip a tiny little leaf on a tree, that prop explodes at the hub. I go to races with a pack of props, and I'll do 12 packs, crashing here and there, and I just bend them back, and we're good to go as long as the motors aren't hot. But then again, I don't care about vibration in the video. It's just going around the gates fast. Things are so much better now. Yes, a nice trippy spins. I got you. Yeah, thanks, MTK. That was first pack out, one and done. Every flight after that was worse. I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna go with that one. Let's see. Morton, all right, we'll see you around, man. Thanks for listening at least. Cringe JW, I hear you. I had one of the standoffs bent, carbon plate touched the FC, and things went boom. Yeah. We were talking about it, a couple other people, about ESCs. Here's a question. All right. When do your electronics die? In flight? All right, here we go. I got to pull up. When do your electronics die? In flight, on the ground, or during plug-in? I want to know, when do your electronics go up in smoke? Because for me, every single time is on plug-in. Why? I don't understand why. Let's see. Steady Eddie, do you have experience with any educational programs with kids for school, like multi-GP curriculum? I'm interested in getting more young kids into the hobby, but not sure how. So I have, Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much that helps. I've been trying to figure out how to do this every I'm gonna say Christmas season, because that's what I call it, holiday season, whatever you want to call it. I try to give away 3 or 4 ready to fly kits, goggles, drones, batteries, chargers, controllers, the whole works, to people who want to get in the hobby, or that I know and trust that know people that they're trying to get in the hobby, to use these starter packs to get people going. I've been trying to figure out how to get people to get into the hobby. It's like our multi-GP chapter is dying. Like pre-COVID, there was every weekend there was at least like 6 to 8 people that show up just for fun flies, and at the races it was twice that at least. Now it's like we're down to like a core like 4 people that will show up. We don't do any off, like regular weekend racing. We didn't do any micros last season, but that, that's all COVID related. I've been going to the local college to do flight demonstrations, to talk about the hobby, to help. There's like an aerospace engineering course, and one of the like they can build a wing or an airplane or a quad. A bunch of people opt to build quads. I'm actually in their syllabus now to contact for building quads for help. I went out there and helped like 4 or 5 of these guys get their stuff up and flying so they can get their grade. Hell, they even had me fly it for their final. So, I don't know. I don't know how to get people into the hobby. I don't think giving people stuff works, because I'm not taking a political stance here, but you see what happens when you give people stuff. They don't care, they don't respect it, and they don't follow through on it. You got to earn it. You got to work for it. My opinion only. It's a tough one, because the people who are going to be able to get into the hobby right now are going to be the people that have extra income. If you look at like any FPV YouTubers analytics, my market, let me look right here. I can't show you this, but I'll just tell you what I got going on here. So if you look at my analytics, which you're not, I gotta figure out where it is. Audience, here we go. The vast majority of my audience is in the US, obviously, and 25 to 34 years, 28% of my viewers. 35 to 44 is 35, and 45 to 54 is 20. So the vast majority of my viewership, which is kind of like the only matrix I can go off of, is basically 25 to 54. So that those middle years where you have income and a little bit of time, 75.9 of you mother aren't subscribed. What the? If you're here and you're not subscribed, I hate you. Just kidding. I don't hate you guys, but that's kind of bullshit. Anyways, you're gonna have to find. It's not gonna be elementary or high school kids. It's gonna be college aged and older. Those are the people that you're gonna be able to get into the hobby, because they have the money to put into it and they have the time to put into it. But then again, they also have other competing demands like family and careers. So I know I've danced around your question, Steady Eddie. I don't have a good answer for you, to be honest. If you think of something, please let me know. Current JW. Be right back. Need to pick up. All right, man. I'll see you later. Dial up. I fly much better with a few. And oh yeah, exactly. I can rip around the racetrack way faster than when the timer's not running. No problem. Turn the timer on. I suffer from competitive anxiety. I don't know if there's an actual term for it, but yeah, it gets in my head and it screws me up. The fact that DJI controller is not compatible with the air unit is why I didn't pull the trigger on a used one that passed my way. Yeah, I wish it was. It's not a great controller, but it would just add more value to that whole thing. Actually shatters. I don't know how many props I went through in my old drones. Oh yeah, like you went for a flying session for bring a set of props per pack is kind of what my rule of thumb was. Those old glass fiber props though, those things fly really freaking good. They're just, I remember flying wood balsa planes line of sight. Yeah, and if the FAA has their way, you won't be able to do that. Those crashes kill you on the inside. They do, but you get numb to it after a while. Going flying, enjoy it. All right, MTK, have a good one, man. Scott, $2 from chat. Thank you so much. FUV DR3. Thanks, buddy. Morton Upshot. So, general new build question. Can I use a MR30 connectors like the 533 does? But how about something smaller? I don't know if there's anything smaller than the MR30s. The MR30s are a cool idea. I like that idea, but I'm not. So when I started racing, I thought, oh, I'll bring a ton of spares. If I break something, I'll just fix in between heats. There is not enough time in between heats. There's enough time to switch props out, switch batteries out, put some batteries on the charger, and then you're pretty much ready to rock after that, at least in my multi-GP chapter. So the MR30s are kind of useless, except for in the rare case where they do save you from yanking the wires off your ESC. But I'm not going to add the extra complexity, well, not complexity, but extra time and weight to a build for the MR30s. But they are a good idea. I don't know of anything smaller, though. I guess you could use yeah, I don't like a PH 2.0 with 3 pins in it would be kind of nice, maybe. Athix says, I want to say I'm plugging into the shock to the system. Yeah, but why didn't it die when you, like, before you unplugged it on the last flight? Why does it fail on startup and not during operation? I'm talking like all mine die, like go, fly a pack, land, take the pack off, plug a new pack in. Smoke time. Scott, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I rarely have electronics die. Yeah, I rarely have them die, but when they do, it's always unplugging. Yes, Rob Logan, you have cracked the code for building. Get a jeweler's loop like this one here. Oh, it's not in there. A jeweler's loop is one of the most critical parts of building. I trust it more than a stupid smoke stopper. I think a smoke stopper is all marketing wank, to be honest with you. It's nice to have a switch. That's all I use it for. But being able to look over the board and look over your work, and like a 10x magnification is huge. I need to see a die from entry into a pine needle. Stack one central. Yeah. Sub to this, awesome. Thanks, man. More likes. Everyone likes. Yes. Like. Stupid kids don't need to go to college. I use their fun to buy parts. Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. I think there's far too much of emphasis on going to college in this country. Skilled trades are, I think, where it's at. Unfortunately, the mentality in this country, and I think probably most countries, are that if you don't go to college, you don't deserve to get paid like you're a professional. My opinion only. Someone's got to build the bridges, plumb your house, pick up your trash. I don't see why people sitting at a desk crunching numbers on a computer for a hedge fund, or I don't understand why sitting in AC with a suit and tie in the AC automatically commands more than somebody out there busting their ass. I mean, obviously we need a mix of both, but I think that I think we need to put more of a emphasis on skilled trades. Do you have some kind of censoring on OBS? Nope, just me pushing the button. Appreciate the insight. I'm a police officer and a 107 pilot, so I have access to our local schools and had inspirations of inspiring some youth, but I like college ideas. Steady Eddie, dude, I applaud you for your service during the way things are now. 107 pilot, that's awesome. I'm in aviation. That's kind of my background. That's what I get paid to do. We do static displays for elementaries and middle schools, and we're trying to hit the kids when they're young, but I have yet to do like a static display presentation for college kids, high school kids, people who are like getting ready to like make major life decisions on what they want to do. I think it's because I don't know what the reasoning is. I think just, let's face it, elementary and middle school are all basically BS fluff. High school is when things get a little bit serious, where you actually start to learn something. And I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but yeah, I would hit up the local universities. Most of them, especially if you have an engineering school, like we have University of South Alabama right down the road from me, and that's where I typically go, or I have gone to do demonstrations. We've done, we had a music fest here in 2019. They blocked off they gave us like the courtyard downtown. We netted it all off and we did a multi-GP race downtown. That was a unbelievable amount of work. It was so cool though. It was like the most professional multi-GP thing I've ever seen. I've never gone to it like nationals or anything like that, but we had everything netted off. We had all the pilot stations. We had monitors people coming up could watch. We had simulators on a TV that people could try flying. It was cool. Scott, I am 54. Rob Logan, I am 54 to 24. 62 here. 2FV in your live stream chat on Discord. Live stream chat. Okay. Here's some pictures the guy was talking about putting in his buggy. Let's go to that. I don't remember who was asking the question. Here is some of the stuff inside of a buggy. So that's the VTX and stuff there on the right. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat setup there. You use some M3. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about bullet connectors. Yeah, but they're not going to be that much smaller. I don't know how much. Those motors can't draw that much current. You're only powering things off of a 18650. I wonder if you could use a 3-pin JST connector, like a 0.5 millimeter pitch JST connector. Something kind of like this. I think that this would be plenty of current capacity. And you could just snip off the little locking tabs here. Pop a link into the chat there. I think you might be able to do something like this. I don't think this will limit your current at all. Because I mean, those motors aren't going to be drawing that much power. I don't know why the chat keeps unpopping out. Let's see. 62 and 1/2. Mine always die on crash. Inrush current. Yeah, inrush current. I can see that. 42. Secret number of the universe. Steady Eddie, thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. I'd be interested in more info on what type of demo or curriculum you do with the local college. Thanks for all the help you do over here. One of the cool things I did on the last one is, this is why FR Sky is still pretty good. I got one of my toothpicks, one of the more reliable ones that are easier to fly, that turtle mode well. 2 X9 Lite S models. They have a Bluetooth wireless trainer. So I got one of the students on a set of goggles. I gave them it's called the slave radio, and I took the master radio. And I'd get them on the goggles, give them a quick rundown of all the controls, and then I'd get it out into a safe spot, and I had a momentary switch on my radio that when I flip it, it will give them control, and then when they get all cattywampus, I just pull it out of student mode, and then I've got control again. That was huge. I got, like, people sit around, they watch you, like, this is not a spectator hobby unless you're flying something like this monstrosity in the background, that X-Class. I always take that with me because that is a crowd pleaser. Actually letting them fly and telling them, hey, don't worry about crashing it. You're not going to break anything. I have ultimate control. If you get screwed up, I got it. Don't worry about it. It's kind of like a student pilot type thing. That was huge. I actually got a lot of people who I really would not have expected to want to try it, to try flying. I was flying like a diatone GTB, something super low threat. But that Speedy Turtle, hope you click that link. Yeah, give your boy a cut. I appreciate it. Jeweler's Loop. Let me get you the one that I recommend. This one is by far my fave. And all you got to do is pull out the little etched glass gradient that's inside of there. There you go. That's the Jeweler's Loop I recommend that you get right down there. Props per pack. Yep. One set of props per pack. That's how it used to be back in the day. So Steady Eddie, I would do that. Obviously, you're going to have doubles, like either a monitor just so people can watch while you're flying, or I have like a 5.8 gigahertz receiver to HDMI. You can put that on a big TV. And then the trainer setup is awesome. And then the X Class is just great for spectating. People can see it. Lots of LEDs on it. Super scary as hell. They don't know that, but I do. Athix, that's the last plugin is the straw that broke the camel's back. Yup, I agree. Let's see. I hope that helps you out a little bit, Steady Eddie. If you want to talk more in depth, hit me up on Discord. We can definitely chat away about this. Give you some ideas. Rick's Beta, that Hummingbird kit you sent me last year for Indoor Club is still going strong. Awesome. I'm so glad. So yeah, Rick's Beta is one of those people that I sent. I was talking about earlier, the like the starter kits to try to get people into the hobby. Awesome. Glad those are working out. Athex, you are 100% correct. More, yeah. Skilled trades, you're dead on that. Dead on with that one. Skilled trades are where it's at. Are being able to read words apparently is not my forte. At least not today. You know what? I am running low. We only got 15 minutes left. You know what? I'm gonna run upstairs real quick and grab another cup of coffee because I'm needing coffee. All right, I'll be right back. Please stick around. If you haven't signed up for the giveaway today, hit that link. And if you want the 1 hour block and a chance to win some cool shit, go to tweetfb.com and hit that Patreon link. Be right back. Give me like 15 seconds. Bye. All right, I'm back. Server loads leads would be enough. Oh yeah, yeah. Why am I overthinking that? That perfect. Let's see. Back to the chat. Mary's sticking around for a little bit. She's a good girl. Been trying really hard to get her to be less afraid of me. She's just afraid for being afraid, no real reason. All right, Scott says, skilled trades, you are dead on that one, buddy. Skilled trades are worth it. Some kids just don't like to get dirty and work hard. Yeah. I'm surprised how many kids nowadays, like when they hit 16, aren't just like beating their parents up like, I want a car, I want my driver's license, let's get the out of here and get some freedom. Nah, they just want to sit in the basement and play video games. Things are too easy. Things are too easy. Old man Dan here yelling. Audio streams current bitrate is 0. You know what, YouTube? Bite me. I am 30 9 for a little while longer. Aging sucks. Thinking about aging sucks. Morton Upshot, thanks. Oh yeah, so I got a couple guys that I worked with that went through like an automotive trade school, and they cannot call it master and slave. They have to call it provider and subscriber, and it's not nuts. It's threaded fastening device. Shit's too woke. Do you have a way to add a Bluetooth trainer to some radios? Probably. It would have to be some jank ass 3.5mm TRRS connector to Bluetooth, and then a Bluetooth to 3.5mm TRRS. But I don't know. Inside the Mambo radio, there are pads for what looks like a Crossfire receiver. I think that's going to be for some future trainer setup, hopefully, or it'll be something for like passing control, like long range. Like you fly this on 2.4, but you've got a 900 megahertz trainer built into it to go to another radio with a 900 megahertz receiver in it to take control. I don't know, but there's a lot of potential in this radio. Oh, and by the way, this has switched to my daily radio. This is my daily driver. I absolutely love this radio. All the room for Express LRS inside of it. I like this radio a lot. I like the Tango 2. I just like this a little bit better. It just feels, I don't know. There's something about this one I like better. I can't really explain it. Tango 2 is a great radio, though. I learned how to fly RC planes on a buddy box. I need to learn how to fly RC planes on a buddy box. I am terrified of flying fixed wing. I know. I don't know why. Just messes me up. So we'd have two X9 Lite S controllers and run all my stuff on Access and passenger gyros. That's a great idea. It works great. You just have to face each other. If you have your back to them and your radio is trying to go through your body, Bluetooth is 5.8 gigahertz, so it's pretty weak sauce for obstacles. So you kind of have to stand looking at each other for the best range. And I was able to get, I don't know, about 100 feet of range between the two radios, which is pretty good. And then if you lose the trainer link, it automatically just defaults to the trainer radio, not the trainee radio. And I got a video on how to set that up on my YouTube. Really easy. Dustin Gabble, yeah, that's right. I sent him a kit. He's still flying his too. Awesome, man. I have not seen Dustin Gabble in a long time in any of the stuff. Glad he's still flying. It's sad that when I see people not, I don't see them anymore. I just assume they're done with the hobby. At least this way things are now. Was it something we said? I repair sewing machines for a living. You do? Really? Huh. Awesome. I figured repairing sewing machines was like doing vacuum cleaner repair. I just wouldn't think there'd be much of a market for it. 31 and work for an ISP. Here's a question for you. I've got an ISP that really sucks. I have very little upload, but a lot of download speed. Are there ways to adjust that? Like, can I do like, I know there's only so much bandwidth. Can I do like half and half? Like, that'd be freaking awesome. I do more upload than I do download, I think. At least for days like this. Family Guyver, you are 100% correct. Technology makes laziness much more enjoyable. This is one of the few streams I feel like one of the younger ones, 35 for a few more days. Oh, well, happy future birthday. Yeah, EDOC. That doesn't make sense. They grow on trees. On here. Yeah. Bet tree, find them on TX16. Morton TX16. What are you asking? It is hard to follow the chat when you have very little short-term memory or long-term memory or memory. Yeah. TX16S, no, you're gonna have to use a cable, and cable's super simple. It's just 3.5mm TRS audio cable. You can get them from just about anywhere. I wish it was a 4 in a module plus tracer with an empty module bay. I'm actually in the process of, I'm going to internally mount my ExpressOS transmitter. So I have the spare bay, and I think if I do that, I could still, I think I could still use the bay. More on that later. It's a work in progress. I would buy a Mambo yesterday if running ELRS didn't keep it from having a multi-protocol module. I'm working on that. Switched to Mambo as well. Taranis served me well for 8 years. Taranis is a solid radio, which I don't suggest anybody switch away from. There's no reason to, unless you just want to. If you can find an old Taranis, it's a great radio. All right, let's go to the poll here. What did we come up with? Show me the results. That's a cable ISP. Get better upload by switching to fiber. I'm on DSL, so I have nothing else available. When your electronics die, most people say on plug-in, on the ground. That's pretty much a mixed bag there out of 26 people. So it's not a huge poll, but throw that over on YouTube. Oh, hey, if anybody's here and has a Carrera Talon V2 frame, the Plastic Wonder, and you want to part with it, let me know. tweetfb.com or tweetfb@gmail.com. Hit me up. I have somebody who's really trying to get one, and I can't find one anywhere. So if you have one, please let me know. I know I gave one away. I don't know who I gave it to, but if anybody has one and they want to part with it, please hit me up. I'd greatly appreciate it. QX7 is going strong after 4 years. Had to swap. So the real test of this one is I took it on a couple week long trip in my bag, raw dogging it, no protectors on it, no gimbal protectors, no switch protectors, and to see if anything got damaged, and it didn't. So right there, it's okay. You have to be smart about how you pack your stuff, though. Like, I wouldn't trust. You got to be smart about how you pack your radio, though. Okay, Athix. Yes. Airy509, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. Hey, I'm working on a Spectrum SRL2XRX. I have a Jumper T16. Is there anything special I need to set up telemetry working properly? I feel my RSSI is working weird. I don't mess with a whole lot of Spectrum, but if it's bound, I don't think there's anything you really have to do to make it work. You may have to update your internal XJT module. I mean, if you haven't, they come out with updates for that thing almost monthly. So if you haven't updated that, try updating it. They may have fixed some of the codes in there. I don't know. EDoc might switch over permanently soon or not at all. I don't know. No super chat giveaway today. No, today is a no super chat required entry. It is for 30 minutes of flight training, tuning, whatever session with Aaron Ciotti FPV. The link is in the video description if you haven't hit that. But you do have to hit the like button before you click that link, otherwise it won't work. Right? No? Yes? No? Okay. Yeah. Right now I have 17 people signed up. So you have a 1 in 17 chance to win 30 minutes of flight training with Aaron Ciotti. Or tuning, or whatever, mental health help. Like, he's huge into mental health. He runs a Facebook group for mental health. I know, oxymoron, right? Called FPV Therapy. If you suffer from mental health, which pretty much everybody does, and if you don't, then you just don't know it yet. He's a big help over there. Nick Burns, who was a big Spectrum fan. He was a big Spectrum fan because most micros, like the old Tiny Whoops, were Spectrum. I don't think he's used Spectrum in a long time. Eventually, someone's going to build a drone with Strap. There was a guy who lives out in one of the Hawaiian Islands. Dustin something. I can't remember his last name. And he did a bunch of like long range wing flying on 5G. Really interesting setup. Yeah, Jory, that is a big downside, but I already know of a few ways around that. There's easy ways to fix that. Okay, put me on the wheel for next time. You'll have to remind me, Rob. I guarantee you, I'm gonna forget. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Rob Logan Jr., one of the longtime supporters of this channel. Yep, and he would probably do that. Like, literally anything short of like OnlyFans type shit is good to go. Like, yeah. I mean, you could just think of him as a FPV therapist. If you need help flying, if you need help tuning, if you need help not wanting to throw your shit off a roof, he can help you out. Lives in Maui. Dustin Dunhill. That's what it is. Yes. Thank you, Morton. Dustin Pratt. I love my QX7. I got a TX16 and felt cheap. You know why? Because it is cheap. I am not a fan of the TX16 or the TX16S. They are feature packed, but they are copies of, they're copies of everybody else's radio, FR Sky's radio, just in a fancy box. They're a hell of a value. They are a good radio, but the build quality is nowhere near what you get with an FR Sky radio. Even the shell thickness is thinner on the Radio Master and the jumpers, but that's to keep that price point down. Big touch color screens in the FPV hobby, you know, who cares? You're going to be, you know, you're going to be Geordi from Star Trek anyway, so who cares? Yeah, Spectrum has, I agree with you 100%, Athix. Oh my God, who has FPV OnlyFans? BDoc, who has that? It's got to be Bot Grinder. Is it Bot Grinder? Tony's Bot Grinder. Or, oh no, it's, it is Little Stellar Fox. Right? That's who, yeah. Yeah, Spectrum has carved out a really good market for the fixed wing community with Horizon Hobby, which works. It works for them, but yeah, I think there's a lot of better stuff. FR Sky did kind of shoot themselves in the foot. They're trying to kill off D8, is really what they're trying to do, and D8 needs to go away, guys. Like, I'll be the first to admit it, D8 freaking sucks. Try flying anything other than D8, and you'll realize that D8 sucks. And it's not legal in most of the world. It's legal in FCC regions. Keep that in mind. If they have to meet like communication standards across the world, they can't. They have to have region-locked radio, so you can't. Like, everybody who has FR Sky, older FR Sky radio that lives outside of the U.S. has FCC firmware on it, so they can have D8. There you go, Stellar Fox. There you go. Yep. She does have an OnlyFans. All right, guys. So we're butting up against Bardwell here. If you haven't gotten in on the giveaway, click the video, the link in the video description. I'm going to shut that down really, really soon here. Maybe another 1 minute. It's 12:01. Bardwell usually doesn't start actually streaming until like 12:05. He's got like the world's longest pre-roll song. So we'll give it a couple seconds here. Geordie LaForge rocks. Yeah, I'm glad somebody else got that reference. Well, Droney Droid, you better hurry. Oh God, the iGo intro song. What, that thing's like 30 minutes long. Edoc, by the way, nice trippy spins this week. This next one's going to be interesting. The scavenger hunt. I'm like constantly like crunching in my brain, like where and how am I going to get this all done? Yeah, I'm going to Chicago for Halloween. I think I'm going to take my pint with me the next time I drive up there. I'm going to leave the pint at the apartment up in Chicago, so I have it there when I visit. It starts. Did you sign up? Because, I mean, you could win this one, because that's how it always works. Dustin Pratt, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. This is my third day of Trippy Spins. Never did get real life before. Got most of my footage for Scavenger Hunt with joining you right there. Oh, cool. So you got somebody to fly with. I have nobody to fly with. All the people I fly with, they race, and they want nothing to do with anything other than racing. It's funny how people who race and are like into racing don't want to do anything else. At least in my experience. All right, guys, I'm going to close this thing down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Somebody else win a date with Ciati. All right. We'll save it for next time there. All right, let's see. Control C. Somebody give me a time between 10 and 50. Wheel of names. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Getting better about not showing everybody's email address. I'm finally at that point in my FPV career where I'm dealing with assholes every once in a while, so that's been fun. All right, we got 22 entries. 42. 42 is the first one on the list. 42. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you for the support. If you want to be one of the cool kids, head over to Patreon and support me over there. I give away I give away something pretty good every month. This month it's going to be a 1-hour block with Aaron Ciati and a newbie drone brushed whoop kit. I don't remember the name. Their naming scheme sucks. All right, guys, who's going to win this? Oh, Rob Logan, are you going to get this? Stop. Go. What are we doing here? Rob Logan Jr., congratulations. Again, you can't say I never win anything because you won this time. Congratulations. I'll get your info over to Ciati, and he'll make contact with you. And let me know how this goes. This is the first time I've done this. I'd like to do this every once in a while. I want to know how it goes with you. There you go, man. You didn't win any stuff, but you won something better than stuff. You're going to win knowledge, which only you can take that away from yourself. You should display screen names, not real ones. Well, yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be real names. That's awesome. Knowledge is power. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no one can take this away from you. The reason why I don't do screen names is because I want to know who you are, not who you would like to be. Between Discord, Patreon, YouTube, Instagram, I don't know who anybody is, and I want to know who you are. And the only reason I ask for email is just so I have a way to get in contact with you, because a lot of people enter these things and they don't watch, and it's really hard to follow up. YouTube used to be where I could message somebody through the comment section, which was awesome, and you can't do that anymore. So there you go. All right, guys. I'm sure Bardwell's streaming. I've seen the viewership dip. Thank you, everybody who sent a super chat today. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming out. This is the highlight of my week, as usual. If you guys have any other questions you want to ask, or if you want to just continue the party, hit my website, tweetfb.com. If you want to pick up an ELRS or a radio grips, hit that link. Or if you want to support me through all the affiliate links, those are down there at the bottom as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next weekend. Remember, patrons, you have 4 or 5 more days to get your entry in. You need to submit a video and click that giveaway link at the bottom. So far, I have 0 entries, so pretty good chances. All right, folks, we'll see you next time, and as always, stay positive. See you next time. Bye.